Hey everyone, it's Kayla with the Celebration Company, and I've got something fun for you today. But first, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and give me a thumbs up. And also be sure to check me out on Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram for a lot of other fun ideas just like this. Y'all, when I saw these baskets at Dollar Tree, I was so shocked to see them there, and I decided I wanted to make a cute little tray out of them, a sort of a tiered tray. So I've got two different ones and a 6-inch candlestick. This candlestick is actually available on our website, thecelebrationco.com. I'll be sure to post the link in the description. We're going to start with our candlestick. We're going to do a little bit of a paint technique on here. So I have got a piece of wax here that I am rubbing onto our candlestick. So I'm just kind of going through and just putting it wherever you feel like it. I'm doing a little bit, just kind of all different directions. Wherever you put your wax, the paint is not going to stick to it very well. So it's going to allow us to have a little bit of that chippy paint technique, a little bit of that old antique look. Now you could paint your candlestick however you choose to. Whatever you want to do to make it look good with your baskets. You could do all black, you could do a galvanized look, whatever floats your boat. I am using the color called Snow White by Deco Art, and we're just going to give this a quick coat. I am not trying to be perfect with this. I'm not wanting it to look perfect. I'm only going to be doing one coat, and we're just going to get it on. So the goal with this in the end is for it to have a really sort of rustic, old look about it. So we're only going to do one coat. If it's not completely covered, that is okay. All right, so now we're just going to take a sanding block and just go ahead and sand this and just kind of remove some of that paint wherever that wax was. It's just going to make it really easy to get that paint to chip right off. So I'm just going over the whole candlestick with my little gator sander here. You can get these on Amazon. I'll also post a link for that in the description as well, in case you're interested. It truly is a lifesaver. So you just go over the whole thing, and after you get all of that sanded, we're just going to start applying some more paint to make it look even more rustic. But you could totally stop right here. It looks great as it is. All right, now I'm just going to take a dark brown. This specific one is called Dark Chocolate, and we are just going to apply a bunch of this just all over this candlestick. Another color I really like to use is Burnt Umber, but I was a little bit out of that. I didn't have much left, so I decided to use the Dark Chocolate, which is very similar. And I'm just going to take my brush and just cover the whole thing in the Dark Chocolate. We're going to be very rough about this. You want to actually work pretty quickly because we're going to come back and remove the paint. So this is just going to create a little bit of like a glaze onto our candlestick. It's going to stain any areas where we have that wood showing underneath, and it's also going to settle into those cracks and crevices and just give us a really antique look. So I'm using my baby wipes, and I'll just go over it and just kind of remove as much of that paint as I want. You can see how it's already starting to darken those wood areas where I was able to remove the white paint. So I'm just doing half at a time. We're just going to go in and put some more paint on the bottom. And again, you can remove as much or as little as you want. The main thing here is just to get it on really quickly. I like to do it a little bit thick too, so that I make sure it kind of goes into some of those cracks and those crevices. And then you'll just go back and just remove, and you can see on that bottom there where there's those cracks, where that paint is just kind of settling into those spots, which to me just makes it look that much better. So look how beautiful that is, just like that. Now I wanted to take this a little step further, so I'm actually coming in with another color, and this time I'm going to use some green. So I know that seems a little weird and a little different. You can totally do whatever you want, but I'm using this sage color by Deco Art. I'm just putting a little bit on, and I'm just going to coat our candlestick in this green very roughly. I am not going crazy with it. And while I kind of like it, you know, just a little bit like that, I'm coming in and kind of removing that excess again. And this is just kind of changing the whole tint of it. It is going to leave just a little hint of green, but really the main thing is that it is greening it up a little. So before it was kind of a little bit of a reddish brown. So this is going to change that just a smidge. You can see it still looks white, but you do get a little hint of that subtle green, which I think looks awesome. So there you have it. So I'm not done yet. We're going to keep going just a little bit. I just keep adding different layers and things just to keep making it look old and aged and antique. So I did have just a little bit of my burnt umber. So I decided to take a little bit of it and we're just going to start kind of rubbing it onto our candlestick with a pouncer. So this is burnt umber. It's my favorite brown color to use. This is by Deco Art. And I'm just going to take my foam pouncer. I'm going to dip it into my burnt umber and then I'm just going to kind of remove some of that excess so it's not caked on. And I'm just very gently applying it in spots on my candlestick. You can do this wherever you want to, whatever works for you. And then I am going to come back with my baby wipe just to kind of rub some of this out a little bit. Some spots I want to be darker than others. Some spots I want it to kind of just rub right into that wood. So we're just kind of coming back, and in some places you can see I'm just kind of buffing it out a little bit. Some spots that brown will still be there, just softening it just a smidge. So I just keep doing this until I am happy with the way that things look. You could also, there's always all kinds of things that you can do with this, but you could also go back with some white paint and add a little bit brightness from that white and just kind of do a little bit of softly dry brushing some white on there, which would really kind of brighten things up even more. But I did not choose to do that. I kind of just stopped at this point. You can see how beautiful that turned out right there. Okay, so let's start putting our little tiered tray together. So I'm using two different baskets. One of them does not have the white on it. The other one does have the white. I felt like they worked really well together because the base one is a little bit wider and the top one is a little bit not as wide. So I'm going to grab some Gorilla Super Glue here and I'm putting this on the bottom of my candlestick. Just get a good amount on there and leave some room so that you can put some hot glue on there as well, which will give us a quick hold so that things will adhere immediately. So I'm just putting some right on that screw and then I'm just grabbing a little bit on the edges. And we'll just stick that right onto our bottom basket. Just push it in and make sure it is really well adhered. The super glue tends to take just a couple of minutes to set well enough that it holds pretty well. So the hot glue helps to give that extra hold so that you don't have to sit and hold it for forever. All right. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a little round circle of wood that I'm going to put on top of my candlestick, and this is going to add a little bit of more surface area so that everything glues together a little easier. So I just used my super glue to put on that candlestick, and then I'm just sticking my little circle right on top of that. The super glue holds the wood together pretty quickly. And now we have a little bit more surface area to get that basket on. So we're just going to take our super glue again, get some super glue onto that wood, and we're also going to use the hot glue again to get the two of them glued together. So I'm just kind of putting some kind of around in a circle, and then I'll put my hot glue in the middle and around the outside edges. And I'm also using a low temp glue gun. I just feel like it's easy to get that quick adhesion because you're not having to wait on the glue gun to dry, or the hot glue to dry. I flipped it over so I made sure I was getting it in the middle of this basket. And y'all, that is it. That's really all it takes for this cute little tiered basket tray. And I'm going to show you how I'm going to style this in my bathroom. It looks so stinking cute in there. I've got some little vintage travel soaps. So I just decided to put some of those right into the bottom of the basket. And I just think they look really pretty and adorable in there. And then we're just going to put a couple of rolls of hand towels, or I'm sorry, wash rags right in that top. So I'm just going to take my wash rag and just roll it up. I'm going to do 2 of them, I think. One of them looks really great in there, but I think that 2 looks even better. So we're just going to put 2 of those in there, and that's all there is to it. It looks super cute sitting in my bathroom, and I think that this is going to look amazing in anyone's home. I love how it turned out. You could put all kinds of different things in here. You certainly wouldn't have to use it for a bathroom. You could put it in your craft space, and you could put buttons in it. I think that would be super cute and adorable. Let's see, you could put cotton balls in here and Q-tips. That would be super fun. So anyways, I hope you all enjoyed this craft. Thanks so much for watching, and have an amazing day.